So today our age practical lesson. This lesson is on the second module. So we do only first task, second task, third task, and task 4.1. So today it is our next task 4.2. It is on the module number 2. So we can to remember about it and don't forget to send me your homeworks with calculations, your tasks from 1 to 4.1. So it is all on first model. Okay, today our age practical lessons. I show our platform of Moodle and we can to find the information about it and what we need to calculate today. Now I show you. It is your courses of Moodle. You already can to work with it. Please ask me or write in chat plus if you can to see our platform of Moodle and our subjects page of International Logistic Systems. Oh, yes, thank you. I have in chat plus. Okay, and we go to the end. Okay, thank you. At the end of our courses and find our practical lessons number 8. Today we need to do task 4.2. We do it and can to connect here or send me on any message or mail in if you want. Yes, to do it or use platform of Moodle and connect there your homework. And also we do have the information. It is on the Google disk and we use today. Open our information and do it adding maybe same we used. Okay, please open your page. Say if you need, for example, list of paper, you can use it, yes, and use your pen to write your calculations and do a photo after each and send me. And also you can use electron documents, Microsoft Word, Excel notes, and some other which you want to use and it is useful for you also. So write please your surname and your first name. Your group it is not because we only one group on this subject. Yes, with international logistics system. So and also write your variant. It is the same as you are in the list of your group. And the terms of our practical lessons number 8 is the same as the practical lessons number 7. It is also calculation of customs payment during custom clearance of vehicles. And today our terms that is task 4.2 and you can to view it. Maybe the same located is better. It is calculation of customs payment during custom clearance trucks. We use today the same information of customs payment, but in previous practical lessons we do it for cars, for passengers, and today we use it for cars for different types of cargo. So it is the as paying and we calculated it for different types of vehicles today. So please write the terms of our task 4.2. And after it, we write only our calculations. Okay. When you write it, I remember you the information about customs payment, what it is about, which it is this information. During customs clearance of vehicles that were pushed outside Ukraine, so we can to buy some vehicles outside of Ukraine and drive it to Ukraine. So we calculated for these positions and imported by resident citizens, their following payment are paid. And we use the next payment for different types of vehicles. It is customs duty for the issuance of a certificate for the right to register a vehicle in the bodies on the state automobile inspections and of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine. So we use these organizations and there's law for different types of vehicles. Also, it is customs duty, and also it is value added tax. It is for different types of products. Also, we used it, yes, it is 20%, and we use a short form of it by first letters. It is VAT. So, such types of payment, customs payment. For today, we was calculated customs payment for such types of heavy tracks and use the engine rates. On today it is for dollars it is 41.33 hryvnias, and for euro it is 44.70 hryvnias. Also we used the same parameters today. So all calculation of customs payments when importing trucks into the customs territory of Ukraine are carried out in the national currency of Ukraine. So we need to use these parameters for our calculations. We use table 4.3 for this. I can show you now which information we use today. It is our table 4.3 and it is about initial data for the calculation of customs payment during customs clearance for each vehicle. We was calculated for such vehicle brands as Ford, Volvo, Mercedes, and other. You can to see now different types of vehicles and brands of heavy vehicles. It is for cargo, vehicles for cargo only. We have the information about years in operation, such as 3 years, 5 years, and also 10 years. It is as a big period of time. Yes, it is. We can say that it is old cars, yes, and some new cars. We also have an 0 years in operation, so it is new cars for some variants, yes, and for example 2 years it is also as new cars, yes, but already not very new, yes. All these types of vehicles have engine type as diesel. We can to see it, this information also. We have the information about engine capacity, 1,000 centimeters in cube. It is also different power. We can to see, yes, because for some types of vehicles it is 6, maybe it is the little parameters, and for example 25,000 centimeters in cube. So different parameters of it. Also, we have some information as invoice value, also in thousand some dollars or euros, for example, yes, for different types of cars. Oh, sorry, I don't delete here on Ukrainian language. And also we have information about cost according to the experts' calculations in 1,000 hryvnias. Also we use this information. It is when some experts can to use the information about this type in vehicle brands and type of vehicle. We have the information about it on this part. At the last on this page, we have this information. It is the customs value of each vehicle. By analogy with passenger vehicle, also we used already this information, is determined by the customs inspector on the basis of duty executed, sales contracts, invoices, checks, different types of invoices also, and other documents issued in the country of purchase of vehicles. So it is also the money which we pay when buying some types of vehicles, and also with some characteristics of these types and of these brands, and how many old of these cars also. It is very important, all this information. So we also used the basis for calculating the duty is the customs value of the car. The excise duty for trucks is 0. It is important because in previous task 4.1, we also calculated excise duty, but it is for only for passenger cars, but for heavy cars, freight vehicles, we don't use these parameters, and remember that the excise duty for trucks is 0. And also we use parameters VAT is 20% of the amount of customs value of the car and customs duty. So we used all these parameters. You can to see it. This information maybe I'm very fast to discuss about it. And now we need to calculate it, all these payments for freight vehicles today and for our variants and try to know how much we need to pay when our freight vehicles buying in other countries can come to Ukraine. So we used these parameters. Now I open the formulas. We calculated only 3 formulas today. In previous task, we used 4 formulas. We also calculated excise duty, but for heavy vehicles, it is 0, so we don't calculate these parameters. So I open the formulas is the same, so we can to remember it better because we use the same parameters without one of them. So we do today first, second, and third formulas. It is the same parameters, but it is different thousands, some values using. So write please on your paper or your electronic document about the information, such parameters as duty. First, we calculated duty, so please write formula number 1. You can write only 1 point, or for example, used quantity, close quantity, or point if you want. And write please D, such parameters as D is equal to parameter CV. What it means, we can write under our formulas. CV, it is customs value according to the conclusions of a customs experts. So we use these parameters from our table 4.3. Open our table. Maybe I do it all the same. Oh, that we can to see your variant, and the last line of our table, it is cost according to the expert's calculation 1000 hryvnias, but we need to use in our formulas in hryvnias. So find how many cost you need for these parameters and also multiply by 1000, or write 30 already for these parameters. For example, for first variant, it was 64.6 and multiplied by 1000. Or we can write 64,600 hryvnias. Okay, find for your variant this information. Okay. And also we need to multiply it, this cost multiplied by the next our parameters. I show you the formula. Formula number 1. It is parameter R with little index D. It means duty rate. And also after the previous our practical lesson, we discussed with Jana about these informations, because in tasks 4.1 was right in our methodics that we need to use these parameters as a 10% from the duty, from the customs value. So we used customs value multiplied by the sums 10% from customs value, and it was a very big sums. And we also discussed with Jana that it is not very good because the sums of customs payment is more better than we pay about the car, and it is not useful and not good for everybody in relationships of this process. So in this task, I also to learn this information in different subjects, in different sites, and also I agree with Jana that we need to use only 10%, but we can't multiply it by percent, we use 0.1. So please, after you find your CV, you need to multiply it for all variants 0.1. So we find 10% from CV. It is maybe better and it is right for customs payment on today. Please do it. And also right is equal to and leave only no four parameters after points. It is okay. We have the result in hryvnias now. Okay. And our next parameters we find now. We have time today because only 3 formulas, so we can to do it online together. No, if you can do, if you, for example, now at work or somewhere, and you can only listen this information, you can do it later. Okay. Our second formulas, you can write 2 point and our parameters VAT. It is value added tax is equal to, and now we need to use CV also in hryvnias. We used it in our formulas number 1. And the result of our first formulas number 1, when we find G, it is duty. So we find your CV. We find it in our table. For variants, I can also open it when you can to see it. It is the last line of this table, and we find now these parameters. So we use CV. After this, we can to add the result of formula number 1, our G, our duty. We used open quantity and close quantity, and the result of this sums of this adding we multiplied by 20%. But we also remember that we can't multiply by percent, we use 0.2. So the result of 18 we multiplied on 0.2. And write is equal to and find the result in hryvnias also. You can write UHH. Okay. And our last formulas which we need to do. It is our formula number 3. So write please 3 point or 3 close quantity. And we need to find such parameters as TA. It is the total amount of payment. It is how much money we need to pay for the customs procedures. So please write TA is equal to We use such parameters as CG, it is customs duty, and we can to see that it is equivalent to 15 euros. So for all variants, these parameters can will be 15 euros, but we don't need different types of values. We need to use only in hryvnias. So we need to find how many hryvnias it will. So write please 15 multiplied by our courses. Now I opened this information. For euro, it is 44.70. Hryvnias costs 1 euro. Please write it. 15 euros we multiplied by 44.70. It is our first parameters. Okay. And I opened formula number 3. Add the result of our first formulas. It is our duty, G, result of our first formulas. Also in hryvnias we already have the result. And add the result of our second formulas, VAT, our parameters VAT, also in hryvnias. And calculate it, please, and write is equal to, and we have the result in hryvnias. Do it. Maybe somebody do it faster, somebody do it later. We have the time, so you can to calculate it all. Okay. And after all calculations, you can to write the answer for our task 4.2 that the total amount of payments is and write the result of your formula number 3. So you can to see that it is not many calculations for customs payment. Yeah, also we understand that at the customs it is scanned, calculated on paper, yes, or in process using different types of programs and use some parameters for calculating, and it is very fast and we can to see the result and already this result confirmed they received and we have all informations very fast and with different types of systems and programs. Also, maybe somebody of us have some questions or all is okay. You can to calculate it.
Should we recalculate the previous practical lesson with this 10% mistake, or we should leave it like that?
No, we can redo it. Yes, we calculated how we do it, and now we do on other methodics. Saying about it, because in your methodics for students, it is right the same that we need only use 10% sums. So now we understand that it is not the good result for everybody of this process. So in task 4.1, it is okay that we how we do it on lessons. So you don't need to recalculate it. Okay. So we do always today. It is about some customs payment. We do to did already, yes, two tasks, and this information maybe also was your lections materials in some payments, how long, for example, we can to locate it, our cargos, and what is the value of these cargos. Also, we used and different time of calculations and different types of payments. And also we can to use some methodics, for example, when we can to save some money, when we used connecting rows, for example, for different types of cargo, from different relationships between different kinds of transport, different kinds of companies and other. So we can also use this methodic for saving money, for transportations, for saving procedures, also when we can to connect some parts of cargo. You also discuss it on your lection materials, and now we to practice how it calculated, how we used it, and used different types of exchange rates also and other. Okay, so we can to do these tasks and don't have any questions. So I stopped our lesson. Okay.